What's going on with Port St. Lucie prices? Stay tuned, and we're going to tell you if they're going up or down. Ew.
You better get fired up.
Guys, what's going on? Happy Monday, man. I am excited to be here. I love my weekends, but holy smokes, when I get my weekends, which is pretty much a day, I get Sundays, I come back rejuvenated. So you're getting a rejuvenated Joe. Today, I'm going to answer the question of, are Port St. Lucie prices going down? I hear all throughout the news that prices are softening, things are weakening, it's tougher for sellers, it's easier for buyers. And while I would say negotiation-wise and inventory-wise, that's true, what are prices actually doing? And I'm going to give you the answer here statistically. I'm going to show you the tracking that I do every single Monday, and I've done it for over a year now. I'm going to show you that. But I want to tell you, while I'm a stats nerd, it makes no sense to me. I have no idea why what's happening is happening, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let me hit this share button here, share screen, entire screen, bada bing, bada boom, and then let's pull up these stats. I want to make sure you can see them. Can you see them? Can you see them? Man, I don't know if I'm... Let's try one more time. Click on this, hit share. Okay, now you can see them. Okay, so here we go. So here's all the stats, right? And I'm going to pull this back to, let's open these up. That's a lot of data, but we're going to go back to, what can I fit in here? We're going to go to where I can fit it in. Okay. So looking back at the 25th of November, right? That's this column BJ. You can see that row 7, these are the median. That's not true. Row 11, these are median asking prices. Row 11 is median sales prices. Now, I have said the general narrative over the last year has been, like maybe a year and a half, has been that Port St. Lucie single family home prices have gone like this between 415 and 425, right? They don't really dip below 415. They don't really go above 425. But there's been a couple exceptions, okay? So going back, let's look at this date right here, 11/18. You can see we're at 4.25, which is on the higher end. This might be the only time it broke out of 425. It was actually at 429.083. That was the end of November, so right around Thanksgiving time. And then in December, we've got 415 at the very end. Otherwise, it was 420 all month. And then in January, this is where it really dipped. 412.5, 407.5, which I believe is our low, 415 and 411. Now, in February, we had a little bit of a rebound. 418 down to 416, 289, back up to 418, 180, and then back up to 422. And now we're comfortably, again, inside that 415 to 425 I've been talking about. Now, what has it done in March? It's been between 420 and 425. So on the higher end of that little spectrum I'm talking about the entire time. How is that happening? I have no idea. I don't get it, because when I look now, this is year to date. Okay. Let me shrink up some of these and get it back to the normal view that I usually have. I get rid of all the middle weeks and I just keep the first Monday of every month visible. So I'm gonna get those removed here. So that would be these guys and these guys and these guys. That's it. And hide. Okay. So now we're looking at so here we go. Oh, and I tend to look at the first of every quarter once it's in the last year. So we'll hide these. Okay. So this is what I'm typically looking at. So when you look at, here's why it's crazy to me that prices have stayed where they're at, right? We had that little January dip and then it came right back up, right? Because when you look at inventory, look at the beginning of the year last year, 1,388. That's how many homes were on the market for sale. Now we've exploded to 2,144. This 23.1% is year to date. So this is 2,144 compared to 1,742. But compared to 1,388, it has gone up considerably. And look at sales. The first to last year was 442. First to this year was down to 398. Now, yeah, it's come back up. We're at 456. But look, next week is going to be the 1st of April. And the 1st of April last year was 524. Are we going to quite be there? I don't think we'll be there. We'll be close. We might be at 480, 490, 500, somewhere around there, I'm guessing, but we're not going to be quite there. So actives have gone up tremendously, making it harder for a seller to compete. Sales have gone down, not quite as dramatically, but they've come down. So how does that median sales price continue to stay where it's at? And that's the part where I'm not going to answer the question because I don't know. I don't know how they're staying so strong, but they are. And you can look at the inventory, right? Inventory is if we were selling at the pace in which we're selling over the last 45 days, how long would it take to sell out all of the current listings that we have if we didn't take on any current new listings, right? So last year, January, well, let's go down to this main date. The overall, no, that's not right either. This is the overall day. The overall market at any price was 141 days. 141 days. The beginning of this year, it came up to 197. That's 56 additional days. That's almost 2 months of extra inventory. That's a lot. That's a noticeable change in the market. When we were at the peak of the COVID market, I remember the craziest number. I'll never forget this. Inventory was 19 days. 19 days. Now it's 197, right? And I think like 3 to 4 months, maybe even 5 months is pretty typical. It's pretty neutral market. 197 is definitely a buyer's market. Now, when you break it down by price, you look at, okay, well, up to 500 grand, that's roughly 5 months. Not so bad. That's pretty neutral market. But this market, this above 500,000, soft market. Soft market. You're 10 grand overpriced, good luck. You're not even close. You're priced appropriately, still might not sell. It's challenging. And it's not that you're overpriced according to comps. It's that you've got so much competition. They're looking for the guy who's 5, 10, 15 grand underpriced, or it just has some crazy amenity that nobody else has, or they're giving terms that nobody else gives. They're looking for something different. It is very tough in that particular price point. But you can see, even though we were at 197 compared to 141 a year ago, now we're at 211. So it's more inventory. We're looking at 7 months. So looking at all that, you know, have prices gone up? Prices have not gone up. Have prices come down? Yeah, they came down. Not a lot, but they came down. And now they came back up. And they're right where they were just a couple months ago. So if you look at the span of, let's say, 18 months, Port St. Lucie prices kind of did this. And then in January, they went, burp, and then they came right back up. And now they're doing this again. Isn't that interesting? I can't explain it. With inventory going up, sales going down, and actives going up, it doesn't make any sense to me. But I keep reading all these articles saying prices are coming down, prices are dropping, and it's just not true. At least here in Port St. Lucie. I know there are other parts of the country, other parts of Florida, where I am seeing prices have come down, but we're just not seeing it with single-family homes in Port St. Lucie. Now, is that good news or bad news? I don't know. I suppose if you're a seller, it's probably good news. If you're a buyer, it's probably not overly attractive news, but it's news. It's information. And if you guys know me, the reason I do all this is I want you to be the most educated buyers and sellers in the market. What you do with it is up to you. If you come to me, obviously, I'm going to give you recommendations, advice, and I'm going to help you as much as I can. But I just want to make sure you guys are making decisions knowing what the heck you're talking about, not just reading the headlines. So, guys, if you've got anything you want me to delve into next time with what's hot, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. We're here every single Monday at 11 o'clock, and we'll see you next week. Take care.